Hello and welcome to part 3 of the tutorial. This is where we're going to fit every single piece of this character together. So right now I hit the bones and, well, stuff doesn't fit. So what we're going to do is we're going to hide the parts we aren't currently working on. I'm going to work on the shirt first. So everything not being worked on is going to go bye-bye. That's the pants. This is for the shoes. And you can see down here I'm hitting H to hide. Alright, so now we're left with two armatures. One for this. Well, that's the one for the choker. And I hit the one for the character. Alright, so I want to go into pose mode. Pose mode is going to make my life easier. To select everything, I'm hitting A. I'm hitting G to move. And Z to move it up and down. So right away, it fits for the most part. It's not perfect. It probably never will be. Oh, now let's do this one last thing to make it easier to see. So we have hair, right? We're going to go ahead and press P on the keyboard after selecting it over here. Separate selection, and then we're going to hide it. Now we can see. Alright, let's go back to moving the shirt. Get it positioned roughly where it needs to be. I do mean roughly. There we go. That's about right for the location. So set this up here at the top, and I'm going to apply as rest pose. Now that it's applied, I need to cover some bits. So I'm going to press O on my keyboard for proportional editing. You can see if it's on or off up here. I'm going to select a vertice, that's these black dots, somewhere inside of this area. I'm going to press G. I'm going to scroll forward to make this smaller. And now I'm just going to pull the shirt out. And play with the sizes as you need to. Sometimes you can't pull it all in one pull, sometimes you can. And also this gives it a feel of not doing everything symmetrically. It gives it a feeling of reality, I guess. Alrighty, so that's covered. We can delete these in a bit. Gonna go ahead and drag all this down. And depending on the clothes you get, of course, some will have more holes, some will have less. It all kind of depends. But for the moment, go ahead and pull everything you need to around. So I'm going to make these a little bit smaller. I guess I could pull the shirt back. Oh well. Do it how you want. That's the easiest way to say this. Alrighty. So more or less, this shirt is just about into place. Doesn't take long. There we go. So the shirt is basically into place. So that's done now. So we're going to grab, let's see. We want to move the pants. That's armature 3. Unhide that. Unhide the body. And we're going to repeat this process. So I'm using numpad 3 to get into a side view. I'm going to position the pants roughly into place. And I do mean roughly. So that looks about right. Applies rest pose, edit mode. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pull the pants out. Oops. If I can find a vertice. Pull those out. Pull those out. And we're going to also bring the waist in, because that's kind of big. So I'm using I selected both sides and I hit the scale key. So those will scale towards each other. And there we go. Pants are now fitted. And something else I'm going to do is I'm going to change her shirt. So I like coming down here and changing things. Going to set it to this black one. There we go. Alright. Now that we have some form of clothing on the character, I'm going to go ahead and grab the cover-ups and go ahead and delete them. There we go. Oh. Do a small pull forward on that. There we go. Character is now halfway there. Gonna go ahead and save. I'm gonna go ahead and save again, because I forget things sometimes. We will do the boots, which are armature 4, and that is also this one. Before I forget, hide your other armatures you don't need. Right. Pose mode again. This time we're only going to use these 3 bones to move everything. So the shoes, kind of small for the foot, won't lie. So we're going to bulk them up in size, go to wireframe. So now I can see the foot inside. I'm going to rotate. Going to move this over a bit. And I'm trying what I can to get it somewhat realistic in size. So let's shrink that down, move it down. So I'm going to guesstimate and say that's about right. It does seem a little big at the top here, so we'll fix that in a second. But now that we have these selected and moved, we're going to hit Control C. We're going to select these other ones, Control Shift V. That'll copy the movement on both sides. Alright, and apply as rest. Now we can go ahead and fix the shoes up how we want. So I'm just going to make it somewhat thinner. Pull that out. And repeat for this side. Now of course this is all down to personal preference and style. I don't wear shoes like this, so I'm just kind of throwing something on. There we go. And like I did, oops. And like I did for the shirt, this one came with multiple textures. So I'm going to grab the black ones. There we go. Alrighty. Now that we have that done, let's attach the choker. Choker is armature 5. So go ahead, pose mode, move this down. Move it roughly into place. I'm going to scale it down ever so slightly. There we go. Move it down a bit. As everything else, set to choker, applies rest pose. Alright. Now something we do want to check for, because this is an issue I had with this, is that this should be a child of neck, which is this one. But right now, it's actually a child of chest here. But I believe we also have a secondary issue with this. So if I disable locked object, set that to pose, this to weight paint, we'll see that that's still purple, but now it's red. And that's for a chest bone, which it should not be. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to edit here. We're going to select neck. We will name this neck 2. Rename this to neck. Rename this to chest. And now our weights will be correct when we merge it back into the main avatar. And I'm going to rename this to choker pentagram. Alrighty. And also, now that that's fixed, this will have a relationship of to neck as it should be. That's the only issue I've actually had. It's not many issues like that. Next are the ears. So show the ears. Oh, the tail is in there. Okay. So here we want to re-show the hair. So these should be child of head, which they are. I'm going to go ahead and move it down. Maybe make them smaller. There we go. We now have ears on our head. And last but not least, the tail. Oh, let me re-hide that. Show and show. Alrighty. We got a tail. We're going to move it. I'm going to re-hide the hair again. So I'm not sure the best location for a tail on a body. So we're going to guesstimate and say it's about here. I'm pressing Z to get this radial menu here. So let's just say the tail's supposed to be about there. Now we could post this now, or we can do that in an animation we're going to do later, because I like having my tails slightly alive and slightly wagging. Alright, but let's check our parenting quick, because these seem to be slightly weird. Tail butt, hips, spine, and for whatever reason it hides an eye bone. So I'm going to delete that bone. And it applies rest. I don't remember if I did that for the ears. So let's make sure. Apply as rest. And that's head, that's neck. And these are both child of head. These are child of the inside ears, I think. Right? Yes, and yes. Alright. I was looking down here. Alrighty. So if I unhide the hair, as you can see, we're basically done. But there's still more. So I'm going to go ahead and save as. I'm going to save as number 7. And then next we're going to go on to actually attaching, or we'll do colors first. We're going to go ahead and add some different colors to the character. And we'll see you in the next one.